I'm really beginning to wonder, was this a good idea? What has Oda-san created right now? He has created a situation where I'm actually beginning to argue with theorists saying there is no way that is possible. I mean, I'm seriously asking, just how can this turn out to be good? In the One Piece chapter of 835, we finally got a chapter I love about mangas, a chapter with answers! I hate to wait for them. But when they come there, it's always so satisfying. It turns out that indeed Big Mom has a soul devil fruit, but it's very different from both Brook's Yomi Yomi no Mi and Gekomoria's Kage Kage no Mi. Why am I comparing Kage no Mi with the Soro Soro no Mi, which means the soul fruit which Big Mom has? Well, apparently because all these living objects, including that crocodile and Randolph the Crane Rider, they are all an artificial species. An artificial species called homies. At least that's what the first translations say. That is really weird. I wonder what these homies stand for. Maybe homies is something like called... it's a new place they call home. It seems like these homies are... well... what's that word? Very loyal to the ones that they create. And because they follow them to the bitter end. And they always do through the orders. But other than that, this chapter was full of situations which really pissed me off. That first person that pissed me off was because the fact that Brûlé managed to trap Carrot. Come on, I know this is a Big Mom pirate crew, but why do we have to diminish Carrot? I want to see her kick ass. Are you saying she's young and inexperienced through the fighting? Because she shot against Brûlé without a second thought and got trapped in her mirrors. Yeah, that's right, I said mirrors, because it turns out that Brûlé also get her devil fruit revealed. It's indeed a mirror fruit, the mirror fruit. Apparently a fruit which allows her not only to reflect damage that is aimed at her, but also even to trap them inside a mirror of a mirror world and create mirror reflections of everything else, including that person. And as we said before, this fruit allowed that person to perfectly mimic that other guy. Not to mention it could copy his devil fruit, but given to the fact that we only saw the mirror fruit copy the devil fruit when the two Luffys were arguing, it's very likely that it cannot copy a devil fruit, only copy when it's in a reflection. So Chopper stays behind while Nami tries to run away from the homies, but eventually gets overpowered. Again, do not like that. But they are all trapped in Big Mom's territory because Brûlé reveals that Big Mom knows. We do not know how she knows, but it turns out Big Mom's connection is everywhere. So she knows everything. If it's not what's pudding, it's very likely it was all the living objects talking, all these homies. So, well, but how did all these answers come to us? Well, it turns out it's the big guy, the big head guy, who reveals everything. Because he didn't get attacked. They suggest he might be one of the Big Mom pirates, but turns out he says he's not. He reveals everything to us, and he reveals... and this is something I liked, because once we heard what Big Mom wanted to do about Totland, or Totland, whatever that real translation is, I said, this doesn't make any sense with Big Mom's character. What we've seen of her is a ruthless person. Why would she want to do all this? But Brûlé says that Big Mom is fascinated by gathering many different kind of species, not only all the species in the world, but different objects, maybe. But it turns out that all the citizens must pay a small amount of payment for their protection. You know, all the other islands that were protected on the Big Mom, they had to pay in candy. Well, turns out that Totland citizens has to pay in soul, or lifespan, so to speak. In one can argue it's actually a very small lifespan, but one shouldn't really waste lifespan. Every citizen has to pay 2 months of their lifespan to Big Mom's soul minions that she creates out of herself, reflections of herself. Those were the black guys we saw that carried away Muscato's body. And that, I guess this reveals why Mondor said, do not waste a single second. Maybe they intended to extract something from him. Either way, all the citizens has to pay 2 months of their soul or leave. They have a choice, either life or leave, and every citizen say life. I mean, due to the fact that all the citizens were smiling, I guess this reveals they have nothing against giving up their lifespan. And this is not such a crapsake world after all, but still, I find that very ruthless. Big Mom collecting souls and lifespan from every single citizen just for protection. She has created a place where every species can live, and since they feel like it's happiness here, they don't mind giving up their lifespan. Maybe that's how it works. But still, if she wanted to create an utopia, she wouldn't have to force everybody to collect something. But, well, this concludes with Big Mom's character, which makes the final reveal that we all have been thinking, even before the Fishman arc, all the more revealing. Makes me again question, just how does this make sense? I'll get to this in a moment. But yeah, turns out that all these homies are created with the Soul Soronomi, or the Soul Fruit. Big Mom scatters them and they inhabit objects, food, maybe even the sky. And that object comes to life. It's not revealed if these objects only have as much lifespan as the lifespan that were given to them, but maybe they do. And all of these lifespan are fiercely loyal to their orders, so to speak. But the giant man also reveals that he was once one of Big Mom's husbands. We heard she has 43 husbands. Well, it turns out that she may only see her husbands as sperm donors, because once that guy gave Big Mom what's that word, 2 daughters, she threw him away, and he has been staying here ever since then, because, well, none of them bothers everything. He revealed everything in exchange for juice, but also because something else. That it's then apparently a very strong fighter of the Big Mom pirates arrives. Charlotte Cracker, the 10th son. Not a giant, but a guy with long legs, but it's not a long leg. A weird biscuit-liking armor and a long beard. Charlotte Cracker, the 10th son. He also reveals the big man was not a giant as we originally thought. Only his head and his hands are giant-like. The rest of his body is, well, pretty short, but not as short as we thought. And that man reveals that question that we all have been wondering for a very long time now. He heard that Chiffon was married and he wants to congratulate her. But he also heard that Lola ran away from home, indeed confirming that Lola is Big Mom's daughter. And here is my complaint. Everything makes sense, but at the same time, none of this makes sense to me. Oda has created a situation which I hope he explains. And why am I complaining about this? I'll tell you, because the Lola pirate said Lola's mama was an awesome pirate. That's a freaking understatement! Or maybe either Oda hadn't figured out that Lola was supposed to be Big Mom's daughter, or maybe Lola do not really like to be known as Big Mom's daughter. If everybody knew she was Big Mom's daughter, maybe they would treat her differently. And she did say she wanted to earn love herself, so maybe she don't care about using her mother's reputation. But the other thing that bugs me is the fact that Lola said she gave Nami a Vivre card and said, "You can find this my mama, and she'll help you out." What we have seen of Big Mom's character does not hint a single bit of a helpful character. But this also seems to hint that maybe, just maybe, once upon a time Big Mom really were a kind person. Why am I saying that? Well, the fact that old man calls Chiffon and Lola his dear family seems to hint that maybe once upon a time they were happy. And also the fact that Lola doesn't seem to hate her mom, even though she ran away from home. So I'm really wondering, is something that has happened to Big Mom that has made her lo- lower her morality, or is just Lola very bad person when it comes to what's that word? Ex- Not explain people, but very bad judge of character of her own mama? Because just how can Big Mom be an ally if this has happened? Given to the fact that she is Lola's mama, I have to think that maybe she will become an ally, or maybe this big guy will become an ally just because Nami will tell him that Lola is alive and well. All in all, I did not like the fact that the Straw Pirates have almost been captured, and Mama ordered them to be captured because apparently she didn't like them rejecting her offers and everything like that. So maybe she didn't like that they rejected her tea party, and she won't allow them to rescue Sanji. Please make a comeback already. We won't get a chapter next week, but then again, we won't get a single jump chapter next week. But something tells me that once Oda comes back after the break holiday, I have a feeling he will release a chapter and say, "We will take a break next week." Either way, what do you think about all this? If you want to comment, give me your thoughts if you have any.